Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. It was a much quieter weekend on the motorsport front, and that is a good thing because I can actually watch it all in a nice short time frame. And today we are looking at the Toronto Grand Prix as Indycar's finest take to the streets of Canada, European Le Mans with the 4 hours of Paul Ricard, Super Formula in Fuji, and a quick look at NASCAR and the Crayon 301. Just a very quick look though. So with all that to get through, make sure you subscribe and let's jump right into the video. So IndyCar were on their Canadian holiday and Christian Lundgaard once again proved his worth with his second pole position of the year. The Dane is one hell of a driver and one of the top IndyCar teams needs to get him ready for 2024. All eyes were on Alex Palou to see if he can make it 4 wins in a row, a feat not accomplished in IndyCar since, well, God knows when, maybe the 1960s with Foyt. Sebastian Bourdais won 4 in a row in Champ Car at some point in the mid-2000s, if that counts. Alex Palou is quickly becoming an elite level driver, dominating in a series that is almost impossible to dominate. It's rare for an IndyCar champion to win 4 races in a season, yet alone 4 in a row. Anyway, Toronto. Things started badly as a number of cars hit the wall and caused a traffic jam on the first lap. Several cars were out, including an unfortunate Tom Blomqvist, who was making his IndyCar debut in place of Simon Pagenaud. Talking of hitting a wall, Romain Grosjean's career has hit a very large wall, as at every IndyCar race he seems to hit a wall. This may have been a mechanical failure, but the talk of him being replaced is getting pretty loud. This race came down to strategy and tyres. Christian Lundgaard led the majority of this race, but he did pit earlier than Scott McLaughlin, so with the 2 main protagonists on different strategies, we had to wait through a couple of yellow flag periods to find out who made the right call. After Helio Castroneves was taken out, it turned to Lundgaard's favour as he overtook half the field on fresher tyres and took a big lead. Alex Palou was second, but he had some front wing damage, so win 4 in a row was not on the cards, and he was defending from Colton Herta and Will Power. He did manage to hold on to second, and so keeps his championship lead, extending even 117 points ahead of Scott Dixon. But the biggest plaudits have to go to Christian Lundgaard. Pole, fastest lap, most laps led, and the race win. Not to mention it was Rahal Letterman-Lanigan's first win since Takuma Sato won at the Indy 500 in 2020. Lundgaard is a rising star and one of the top teams will definitely snap him up for 2024. Marcus Armstrong also got his best ever IndyCar result with 7th. Some of the older Indy drivers may need to start thinking about future endeavours because the youngsters are coming for their jobs. Super Formula from Fuji, Liam Lawson must have been disappointed to be overlooked for the AlphaTauri Formula 1 seat, but I fear politics played as much a part in Daniel Ricciardo's return as talent did. The best remedy is to take the front row start and close down the slim points gap to Ritomo Miata. Yuhi Sekiguchi was once again the victim, getting a puncture on the first lap of the race. This has been a terrible season for Sekiguchi. This was not a very exciting race. It all came down to how it shaped after the pit stops, which all happened pretty early. The middle of this race was very calm, much like a Japanese horror film, slowly building tension to a very emotional climax. Sadly, much like an American remake of a Japanese horror film, it failed to deliver. Tomoki Najiri is struggling. He lacked a lot of pace this weekend and dropped back. His hopes of a 3rd title in a row are fading fast. He is miles behind his young teammate Liam Lawson, who took his 3rd win of the year, and it is now pretty much a straight fight between him and Ritomo Miata. Miata has just a 1-point lead with 3 races left. The only entertaining thing about this race was a late charge from Ryo Hirakawa, who came back up to 4th. Everything else was pretty blare. European Le Mans from Paul Ricard, a track that is usually so dull, it's enough to put a meth-addicted badger in rehab, whatever that means. The solution to this boring track is of course to chuck 40 cars around it. And it was an interesting race. A lot of contact, and a couple of full course yellows and safety cars to pick up the pieces of carbon left behind by those trying to make their cars lighter in nefarious ways. Michael Fassbender, a regular of this series, was unfortunate enough to get bumped around a couple of times. I feel like that has happened a few times over the years, and maybe the famous actor is a bit of a target. I mean, I hated the Dark Phoenix too, but that's not enough reason to ram him off the road. Alien Covenant, on the other hand, might be. There are some top drivers in the LMP2 class. Louis Delatraz is leading the charge for Team Turkey, who took their second Pro-Am win out of 2. Delatraz has won the last 2 LMP2 championships and is in with a chance of 3 on the bounce. Stopping him might be the Dequine team with Neil Gianni, René Binder and Nico Pina, who got another good result and the winners. Algarve Racing with James Allen, Alex Lynn and Kiffin Simpson. But every team has decent drivers, every team has a chance. This is a tight class and it makes it a very interesting series to watch for the rest of 2023. Racing Spirit of Le Mans won in LMP3 and Proton Porsche won in a very hard fought GT class. Both those classes are also wide open in terms of who can win them outright. For 4 hours at Paul Ricard, this was very entertaining. Finally, let's talk about NASCAR. I watched the Chicago round and it gave me hope that NASCAR had a bright future. They've added some variety to the calendar and they are attracting stars from other race series. Maybe they're on the right path. And then I watched the New Hampshire round and remembered why I hate NASCAR. It really felt like they spent more time under yellow than they did actually racing. It's tedious and annoying, as are the constant stream of American adverts. What is the point of the stages? You don't need stages to bunch the field back up. They're constantly under yellow anyway, and it's not like the points really matter. You need to win the race to guarantee a playoff spot. The points are completely worthless. Martin Truex won for the first time at New Hampshire, but NASCAR just sucks. You notice top stars jump into NASCAR to blow off steam, and yet you rarely see NASCAR drivers outside of NASCAR. So that was all the action from the past weekend. My race of the weekend was of course the Toronto round of the Indycar. Next weekend is a lot busier. Formula 1 is back and bringing its younger cousins, Formula 2 and 3. NASCAR, IndyCar, Indy NXT and IMSA are all making an appearance. World Rally Championship and World Rally Cross. Formula Regional Europe, TCR Europe. British GT in Portugal, essentially a boys' summer holiday. We also have TCR UK and Euro Formula. It is a very busy weekend. I will be at the Monster Trucks on Sunday, but I will be here in the evening covering for Formula 1 and watching everything else in preparation for a roundup in the week. Also, another conspiracy theory and something else coming this week. So with all that to come, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Leave your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching and have a good one.